All right, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday morning. If you can believe it, Wednesday has come around again. Uh,
It's here.
I've got the usual cast of suspects. Uh, Imagine that. Still grumpy. It's still grumpy. The best hand in the business. And some pussy in the other corner. There you go.
We're not 30 seconds into this. You're going to get demonetized.
I don't.
You don't care.
Last week got flagged for limited. I don't really care at this point. And so if this one will probably be limited too. So if you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee there. There's a link in the. Uh, so far I've used buy my coffee. I've got one coffee. That's awesome.
I got a couple coffees.
Steve,
I donated the coffee money. I don't know if the person who donated to me is in here, but I did donate that to somebody who's gone through cancer. So it was pancreatic cancer. So I didn't keep the coffee money. I should. I know that it was better off with him because he needs it.
yeah, I think in the next 4 to 6 years, there's going to be some breakthroughs that are finally going to be revealed with cancer. At some point, they can't keep hiding this. That the internet and the availability of information, you know, you know, and what cancer actually is. There are a lot of people who think it's got parasitic qualities, and some of the veterinary medicines are having tremendous success. Um, you can look all over the internet and see the stories. I was reading or I was listening to about a doctor yesterday. He's in Germany, and he's been suppressed. They tried to beat him down, and he's had some of the most successful practice against cancer, uh, and he has not used chemotherapy at all. It's all natural, all everything. He has cured so much of it. I think there's remember big pharma. Here goes my show. Big pharma does not want you to get well. They don't make any money if they cure you.
Damn, dude, how you going to freaking support your family if you keep talking about these freaking things?
And
I think he's got other means of income.
instead of $100 this month on YouTube, I'm gonna get like 70. Man, fuck YouTube.
Summer slowdown. It's a summer slowdown anyway. Don't worry about it.
Steve, I should not have started on a second cup of coffee with espresso.
It is Indian Cuban round.
Man, I love the smell
What camera are you using? What camera are you using, John?
The freaking one on this cheap ass Walmart computer.
Looks good, actually.
Yeah, it actually does look good. Well, a lot of it too. Remember, even the worst camera in the world, if it's got the right light, and he's outside in natural light in the early morning. So there's your best light right there. How many people when you take pictures? There's a lot of people on eBay when they take pictures. You take pictures the first thing in the morning or at golden hour because the lighting is so good. It makes any camera do very, very well. It can make John look good. That's how good that camera is. Last week he couldn't get by the door. Let me make sure he can get by the van.
Oh, Scott's got to mow his lawn. That's what he's
About damn time he did something. I've given him a lot of tips. That's the only one he ever took was to have his own frickin' landscaper.
Yeah, I need to make sure he's still doing the front yard. I actually heard
as soon as I can afford it, I'll get one too, but it's not going to be anytime soon.
So I needed a topic, so I just picked the slumber slowdown because that's going to be the rage. Everybody has now gone from oh my god, eBay's dead to it must be the summer slowdown. So if you look at the thumbnail, I picked some nice vacation pictures. So how can you defeat? I'm going to give you the number one way you can defeat the summer slowdown. Tell your family to go to hell. Tell them you're not going on vacation. Tell them you're not going to any ball games. Tell them you're not going to go on date nights. Tell them that you're just going to work through it. You're going to push through it because you don't believe in having fun and enjoying your life. And you're going to get, and it's that important to you that you have every dollar in sales. And so, and then in about 40 years, whenever your grandkids are burying you, tell them how you wish you knew their names. There you go. There's your summer slowdown.
It's not even summer yet, and people are worried about or are already crying about the summer slowdown.
I just happened to see. I had to see 3 videos on. I'm like, do y'all not have anything else to talk about?
It's just a cycle, and it's something we hear about. It doesn't matter what time of year.
I could tell you how
always
to cure
a slowdown.
You may tell you how to cure it, John. I'm gonna tell them how to cure it right now. I had 6 golf clubs in here, and I got 6 golf clubs. They have been in my garage for the last 3 years. Not one fucking soul has showed up and said, Beard, do you have 3 putters and 2 drivers and a 3-wood? Because I sure would like those clubs. Not a soul. Nobody. Last Thursday, I decided, you know what? I'm tired of looking at them. I'm going to stick them on eBay. I sold all of them this weekend. Imagine that. When you put stuff online and you list stuff that people want, it is the beginning of the summer. It is golf season. If you've got golf clubs, they sell like crazy. It was an old Callaway driver. Now the putter's pretty cool. The putters were actually really nice. There were 2 Odysseys and a TaylorMade. So
speaking of which, I have a couple back in the closet that I bought last year. That nobody's come to the door and asked for them yet. So I suppose.
Here's the thing about summer slowdown, though, that people don't realize. Steve touched on it. It's a season. When I sold flags, you know what my slow season was? I
got $90 shipped for this putter. It's a 38-inch TaylorMade Daddy Longleg. It's a mid putter. It was worth $90 when I bought it. That's why I bought it. And it's stood over there in that corner. It's now going to a new home today. It's just crazy. List stuff that people want to sell.
I haven't listed in 2 months. Guess where my sales are? Yeah, they're in the shitter. Is where my sales are. I sell. You're still going to sell, but you're just not going to sell much or anything.
Lawnmower belts are flying out of here.
I bet they are, man.
They always do.
I bet this time of year people are fixing those things. I bet they are flying out there.
You got to sell what people freaking want to buy.
Here's a little tip: go to Lowe's at the end of the season. They clearance some things out like crazy. Those lawnmower belts. They'll buy a bunch of them. They get down to I don't know what that buzzing is. Oh, that's your mower. They get down at Walmart and Lowe's. They get down really super cheap, a couple bucks a piece. You can make, you hold them for a little bit, sell them the next season. Boy, you can make some money.
Okay, so here's another lesson. And so many of you think you know something. So remember, I sell at a local auction. So I bought this at the local auction here. You can still see it's still got the lot number on it. I got this and a regular football. I put a $25 bid on it. But Beard, it only cost $19.99 in the store. Those came out in 2018 and 19. Why would you put a $25 bid on this? Because I want to go to bed and it's worth it. So I wake up and I want it. It's these are the remakes from the 80s. I listed it yesterday afternoon before I went to Wings. My phone beeps when I get the Wings saying I just sold it. How much did I sell this for?
I have one of those.
$69.
$79.
Damn!
On what platform?
I was on Amazon. Close and I never look at them things.
On Amazon, I looked it up and I was like, "Holy shit! I could barely give these away for $28." And a short
on eBay, they don't. On eBay, they don't sell for much at all. I don't think.
$78, $78.89 or something like $78.88.
Now I'm gonna have to look through my death pile. Ugh. You merchant fulfilled that, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
I just pulled all my FBA inventory this morning before the show. I only had 10 items left.
But how many resellers looked at that auction and went to that auction and decided this wasn't worth anything? How many?
You can still buy those for $5 at yard sales.
Yeah.
I pass them up because on eBay they weren't worth. For some reason, I never considered looking at that particular item. Of course, I could be wrong. This is a year or so ago. Last one I bought, so probably 2 years now.
So Mark, you don't listen very well, so I need to just bang you upside the head. If it is under $12, it goes in small and light. Small and light reduces that feed down into the two somethings. That's the only way. There is a number. I think it is $7.18. We talked about it. Whatever that number is, right in there. Anything less than that, even in small and light, you make no money. So I think for DVDs, $7.18 is about the limit. So if a DVD is not worth $10 to me, it goes to the auction.
Yeah, 10 or more for Amazon.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
And
like
then if you're merchant fulfilling it, I don't like to go below 12. But
I bought one. I sold it in an hour. 500% sell through.
God, now you got to make me tear the entire office apart looking for the one I have.
But
I know it's the same exact one.
I get the, I could call it a summer slowdown. I walk inside and I'm looking for, I had 18 eBay items a pack. So half of them Jacob listed. So I went inside to pick them up. And I'm looking there and I had just sold a router on eBay. I sold a router for pay 40 to RSL. I got 130 shipped. And because I was going to use it for me because it was really nice. And I decided that the $2 cable modem, I found a 2 gig cable modem for 2.5 gig cable modem for $2. So it is stronger than a router. So, but same company. And so I listed that expensive router and I went in there and there's another expensive router in the office in its box. I'm like, why have I not sold this? I listed it very good on Amazon in its original box. It sold while I was at Wings. List shit. If you sell used clothes and you know that market is saturated, you better be listing 30, 40, 50 a day because there's somebody out there who's going to list 60. Look at these big shoe sellers. I see the guy, they're online. He's got a YouTube channel, him and his wife. I think they live in Maine. You would think Maine, oh my God, how can you find any shoes? This young couple sells the absolute hell out of shoes. But if you see every video that he shows you that he's shipping 20, 30, 40 pairs a day, he'll be in a Goodwill or whatever his video, the basket is overflowing. He buys that much. That means they list that much.
I was going to say, you can't sell 20 or 30 a day for very long unless you're listing.
What has John said over and over since I've known John? You've got to have a process. You've got to have procedures. I know they've got to have at least one employee because it's physically impossible for two people to source like they do, video like they do, and list like they do. So, how do you get an employee that can help? How much time did you spend doing procedures, John? You talked about that for 2 years back in the day. It was a big mistake you made in your business because you always wanted employees. You always want to need help. And so you're like, I regret not writing down everything, how to do something from the start. So figure out what you want. Figure out how
I leave Tuesday on a cruise. And I'm not taking a laptop.
No shit.
I got my processes. Everybody knows what to do.
But let me guess, you're taking your phone, and I bet you'll take phone calls on the phone.
If it's the
right person, if Missouri calls you, you'll answer.
If Missouri calls, I'll answer. If Philadelphia calls, I'll answer.
Or maybe your brother, but other than that, that'll be it. I mean, you've got it. They have somebody to ask a question to. That's the one thing you've built into this business. If somebody who was doing something has a question, there's somebody who was responsible before they get to you now.
Yep.
So don't be scared to. That's the thing that kills me is Harlan and I talk about this all the time. And if you're in the chat this morning, Harlan, good morning. We go to yard sales together, and people are like, how can y'all both find stuff? Because we look at completely different shit. Here's a great example. I walked into the brand new thrift store. It opened on Monday. I open at 9. I'm on my way home from the auction, dropping off stuff. It's 10:15. So what should I have done at 10:15? I saw a brand new opening. Should I have said all the good stuff is gone? I'm just going home to make breakfast. I drove home the 5 minutes. I dropped the truck and trailer because the parking lot was crowded. I got in the van. I text Joni that thrift store's open. I'll be back. She's like, all right, I'll see you in a couple hours. I'm like, yep, a couple hours. I spent $90. I bought 2 or 3 full blue bags full of stuff. How many people were there an hour and a half, 2 hours before I got there. There were tons of resellers, and I recognized a bunch of them. I messed with one. One of my buddies from around here, he watches the channel a lot. Him and his wife were there, and he had his back to me, looking at DVDs, and I'm walking behind him, like, "Sir, are you using this basket? I think I like this mug." He had a couple Starbucks mugs and something else in there, and damn it, Beard, you can't take basket. He goes, "You should make a video on how to get more inventory by stealing people's baskets." I'm like, yeah, that wouldn't go over so well. But I still bought all this stuff. I went back yesterday. I'm going to go back here in a few minutes after the show. What did I pick up yesterday? I looked for stuff for me yesterday because imagine that. All my size 38 pants, none of them fit. Even with a belt, they have to come up. They bunch up like I'm somebody's grandfather. And so this is the second day after all these people have been through there. I mean, this place, you couldn't get a basket. There was no parking lot. And I looked through the shorts. For $4, 25% off the white tag already. There were 2 pair of who are the shorts? Who's the really expensive shorts? Don't bunch up. Duluth Trading. 2 pairs of Duluth Trading shorts in my size made it at $3 a pair. Duluth, have you looked up a pair of Duluth Trading shorts lately? How much they are? $50, $60, $70. They charge $25 for underwear, for God's sake. I'd go commando before I pay $25 a pair.
Yeah, right.
Not out here, you won't.
There's that. What's that run down your leg? I'm not just nut sweat. Don't worry about it.
You got some spray to help you with that too.
Yeah, if you can get some ball toner, I've got a bottle over there. Just hit me up. I'll sell it to you cheap. Yeah, I mean, this stuff's out there, folks. You've got to, if sales are not working and you're a clothing seller or you're a whatever seller, learn a different area.
You're selling the wrong shit. That's what you're doing.
How do you, very, very few people I would say to go narrow, especially on eBay. If you can find enough camera parts and be the camera guys, like what's his name used to be. I used to love watching this channel. Him and his kid could tell you anything about it. I wish they made
Crazy Picker Life.
I wish they made videos again, man. I miss Crazy Picker. But they were so smart and they got high end because people knew they got high prices because they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
you knew if you bought something from them, you got what they said it was.
Correct, and people will pay extra for that. And they knew premium, and they knew how to clean it up, and they knew how to refurbish. They knew all that. But most of you don't have the skills like that. So what do? If you go wider, you sell a lot more stuff. I promise you. Try me on this one.
Or find something that sells and drill down into it and become an expert like they did.
Yeah, that's what the son did. He didn't know anything about cameras when they started.
No, and he
taught himself.
He went crazy learning it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Tamara, I did see the video on bubble wrap. I tell you what I told y'all. How much have I told y'all? I use quilt. I use these things, the ones that I make. To make it over here, the quilt wrap on the air pillow machine. I told y'all over and over about an air pillow machine. A roll of bubble wrap, even if it's short, will last me 3-4 months for just the 175 rolls.
Hire
They
an
sent
employee
me a
and you don't have to
$35 refund.
Yeah, if it's you can reach out for refunds if you think you've been shorted or mischanged.
I got a full roll downstairs. I should roll it down the street and then measure it and see if.
Yeah, good luck.
It's a
The
nice
only
long
question
straight
they
street.
had was how much I thought I got shorted, and I told them, and they sent me a refund. No
Here we go right here. If you don't learn anything else, Mike, who is he is one of the best pickers I know, and I've never met him in person, but he is the amazing things he picks. I look at stuff he picks and goes, I never would have looked at it. He's getting hundreds of dollars for shit. Follow him follow the Crazy Car. If you want to know, follow him on Instagram. He posts all that stuff over there. Not many things I refuse to try and resell. if you're at a yard sale and something costs $3, what have you lost? I mean, does it take 5 minutes to list it? $3.
Well, I
Maybe.
love the people that post the pictures on Facebook. This is $2 at Goodwill. Should I buy it?
No.
Oh, fuck
Yes.
is $2?
The answer is always yes. Buy it. No matter
I
what it
always
is.
say no.
I always say no.
No, make them spend their money. Make them learn the hard way.
I'm gonna beat this into people's heads. Probably the same 800-900 dude listen to this anyway. The summer slowdown is in your head. The summer slowdown is, it's seasonal demand. It is you enjoying your life, which I encourage you to enjoy your life. The older I get, the shorter time looks. You really do what you love. Enjoy the people around you. How about structure your life? That's the biggest thing missing for me. So if I had more structure in what I did and had, if I said every day from 10 to 3, I'm listening to this and I don't deviate from it, or maybe it's Monday to Thursday or Tuesday to Thursday, whatever, because I know yard sales are Friday. So Friday I'll pick, 1 to 5. If I had some structure in my life, it would be amazing how, or if I had a supply of Ritalin that I didn't have to worry about. One of the two.
So last year during the May summer slowdown, I did 215,000. As of right now, I'm at 277,939. It's definitely much slower this year than it was last year.
But John, you sell so many things for car dealers, and car dealers aren't selling that many cars. Are you sure you're selling that much?
Amazon's writing the checks.
It's an excuse and people complain. That's the part is they're looking for somebody to tell them the way out instead of taking responsibility on yourself and understanding that a lot of it, if you look inward and decide really what's wrong with my sales, they're going to immediately I'm getting scammed. eBay is not doing this. It's international shipping. It's there. And okay, so some of that might be true for a minute. But
I got a blue door.
Everybody else is still selling, so figure out why. Why are you not trying different stuff?
Harlan's got a red door and my door is blue, and that's why his sales are better than mine.
Harlan's got a red door because he's got a red.
Remember that?
Yeah, because he's got a red. Call eBay and have them reset your store.
Comes back.
Okay, so here's a great example. Do you take all this time to listen to people? I know Dusty's been gone a year and a half now, but
wow,
John, the one thing John learned is promoted listings on eBay. That crazy dude would redo them once a day, twice a day, whatever. And John's like, you know what? I never reset mine. Let me give it a try. Let me have whoever do this every day, and it's made a difference. And so, do you listen to all these people and not try some? Are you scared to try some of the stuff how much does it take you to end all your promoted listens and restart them? Oh, Beard, they're just trying to take more money. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want more sales, you must play the game. If I told you right now that your $100 item, if you had to give up $7 to sell it today versus 3 months from now, do you sell it today for $7? Oh, but Beard, that's just eBay trying to take more money.
Sure.
I agree with you, but it's the way the game is played. I agree.
You don't have to do promoted listings.
Are you doing all the other stuff? Do you have multiple quantities? I sold 3 pairs of big girl stretchies yesterday. She got a discount because she bought 3. Buy 3, she got 15% off or whatever the number. I don't know how I set it up, but I'm encouraging them to buy more because I've got 50 cents into these things. And they're $10 each, free shipping.
But
I had 3 of them were 12 ounces, 2 of them were 8 ounces. So it cost me an extra 60 or 70 cents to ship that third one. So Mark, that's an use the custom SKU, use it in your title. You see a lot of people will put in there like remote whatever lot A, lot B in the title, and then you just stick an A or a B on the remote. A lot of people do it that way. A lot of people use the custom SKU and put a number, but it's just simple. Just put a number in the listing that you know what it means, and then put this corresponding one on that remote, and that way you. If I've got 3 Wii remotes, I take a picture for one, list it as 3, and just sell the 3. If they're different colors and that kind of stuff, but it's
I do that with like game controllers. They're all the same. They look the same. No, I'll take pictures of individuals, but in the title, I'll put in parentheses A or B or C or whatever. No, I don't do that with most things, but with those I do because it's immediate. I can see it right away.
Depending on how we can suggest different systems and stuff like that. You have to find what works for you, Mark. If you sell a lot, what I can tell you is if you put it in the title, it makes it easier to pull the items.
Correct, 100%.
Because you don't have to pull up the section that has the custom SKU, which is a packing slip usually. You can do it. You can print out I forget what eBay calls it. It's been so long since I printed one. But you can print out a list of what you sold, and it'll have every title, and it'll show that lot number. For me, if you remember, Scott, I had a tractor trailer full of jeans.
Right.
Remember when I did that? Every one of them had an individual SKU number. And it was a numbering system that I developed that went on every item that was put into a shipping. When I did eBay, I had a process where I packaged the item as I listed it to ship it. Every item had free shipping back then. So I didn't have to worry about combining shipping. If you bought 3 different items, you got 3 different packages. I shipped like Amazon did. You have to have a process when you start to expand into multiple items. And it's something you do early.
I don't use eBay labels. I use Pirate Ship. It's because when I get to the post office, I just hand them the sheets and they scan them and I move on. I hate bulk shipping on eBay. Price is very similar. So those golf clubs, and one thing I'll tell you is you be prepared to, if you're going to sell that kind of stuff on UPS. One of the golf clubs I sent out yesterday was 38 inches, 38 by 4 by 4. Hey, Tracy, again, thanks for the boxes. I was supposed to buy your beer last night, by the way. And when I put it in there, it was $7.69 to ship it from here to somewhere, I think Pennsylvania, for UPS. How much was it on the Postal Service?
I'm gonna guess it was $34.79.
Add $15. It was over 30 inches. It was exactly $15 more. Understand how to ship, folks. People, you couldn't if you had to send it to the post office. That's your only option. Don't sell a golf club because you're screwed.
Oh, my favorite questions in that freaking eBay commerce group or whatever it is how do I ship this? I just sold this. How should I ship it?
In a box.
Dumbass, why didn't you figure that shit out before you listed it?
Now, I get it with some newer people, and even back when I was new, I'm sure that I didn't really know how to ship. But some of these people asking these questions have sold a lot of things.
And I don't mind, folks, if you're new here, hey, welcome to the show. Thanks for getting this far into the show.
Dumbass.
We don't mind
doing here.
Yeah. What do you must
Shouldn't be out working or something?
A glutton for punishment.
Somebody says bona fide hustler prepackages every item. I agree with that system if you're just doing clothing. If you're doing clothing, it makes perfect sense. If you're doing all sorts of different sized items, then boxes get big and take up a lot of room.
I've shipped everything, or you got to go the opposite like I do. I've got all those different size boxes. I can ship anything. I don't care. Either you need to pre-ship, and so and you got the boxes. Harlan's that way. Harlan wanted to sell some Guitar Hero guitars. He had several of them. Tested, everything's fine. He ordered the boxes before. Tracy's the same way.
That's different. Yeah.
He's got the boxes. So I've still got 3 more to ship today. So I'm going to so what am I going to do for those 3? I'm going to take my butt to U-Haul. I'm going to buy a couple of the lamp boxes that are whatever they are, and then I'm going to jerry rig 3 lamp boxes together. I'm gonna cut them in half or whatever it is. I just need one of them's a putter. It just needs to be 4x4 by 40. So I'm gonna make boxes. Don't worry, I'm gonna video make boxes.
So if you're doing clothing and you want to pre-ship or pre-package everything, or I never put them in the actual mailing envelopes, but the poly mail, the clear ones, clear bags. If you have a Dymo, you can sequentially print numbers, and that's how I do it when I do lots of things like postcards. I'll sequentially print numbers on that Dymo, and that's my system.
The one thing, Mark, I'll tell you, your friend saying it's a waste of time doing the daily refinement system. Explain to the person that it's I'm sorry, I'm going to talk bad about your friend. Your friend's a dumbass. And why do I say your friend's a dumbass? You're going to have to ship it anyway. So it's the same amount of time as if you do it now versus if you do it when you go to ship it. So how's it wasting time? You're making it easier to store. You're in your own system. You're doing it anyway. You're going to have to do it anyway. It's the same amount of time, except for you get the benefit of it being easier to store and knowing where it is. So that's what I tell you over and over. You have to do what works for you. John just said a few minutes ago, your system, the way it works for you. If you want to be like me and throw it all in tubs after you list it and then figure out how you're gonna, I can look this up and ship it. I've been doing this forever. Not everybody has that ability, so you need to pre-pack. But it's the same time, whether you do it in the beginning or.
If you're selling a lot of different sized hard goods, and I have a bin system. That's how I do it, and everything gets marked with that bin number because it's all different items. It's easy to pick it out of that bin. But if you're selling a lot of the same stuff, I'd do a SKU system of some sort.
But what about when you get to 100 items a day?
So here you go, right here.
You have to have some sort of SKU system at that point.
How about if you're doing? Yesterday, I sold 2,100 items. If you ain't got some kind of system, whether it be bin or SKU, when you start, how the hell are you going to get to this size? You know how many people come up and say, "Oh, I wish I was you," but they don't want to put a single system into place, or they listen to their friend that tells them, "Oh, it's too much time to do it that way. Do it this way." You got to have a system for yourself.
See, as a midlife picker, I was not smart enough, but got another look at here. If you pre-box, it's easier to what John just said to allow someone to do it because you can say it is this item, this SKU right here. If it's me and if you're doing it like me and Steve or Anissa, got a Dusty system, I just know where it is. How do I teach somebody that me and Jacob both list on eBay? I can look at the picture and tell you if I listed it or he listed it. And if he listed it, I go inside and get it. If I listed it, it's out here. How do you explain that to somebody?
And I mean, it works for you. It works for you. But how big can you scale at that point?
You want Mark, Lonnie basically label shelves. That's the way it works for him. And I can tell you right now, I have watched hundreds of Lonnie videos whether he's in his shed or he's in a storage building, and Lonnie looks at it and looks at the thing and goes, "It should be right here on this shelf," and he goes right to it. That system works beautiful for him.
Because it's system.
System. It works beautiful for him and his wife. And look at Commonwealth. Commonwealth is the same thing. Everything is very organized. He knows where it is. It's a system that works for them. You've got to have your system.
Even if it's just A, B, C, D, E on your bins, it's still a system. That's how I do it.
If you waste an hour a day.
So you're saying if
you waste an hour a day looking for something over a year, That's 8 weeks worth of work you could have put in.
So what about the hour a day that you could have been whenever you had it in your hand and you listed it, you could have stuck it in a bag or a box and pre. That's the other thing people don't get is if you don't know exactly where locations is, if you're the only one doing it, how much time do you waste looking for? I shut my whole damn eBay store down 6 months ago because I was tired of looking and rebuilt it back up. There's a shelf over there that's got every eBay listing on it, and the shelf inside has got the rest of them. It is very frustrating to look for something over and over. Miss Sadie, everybody, it's going to happen. Everybody loses an item every now.
Oh yeah,
I lost one.
I've had
I lost one this week.
label.
That's why I would tell you I have 2 days shipping, 2 days handling because so here I can't be the only one. I could be looking for something today, and it's first day it's sold, and I've got 2 days, and it could be right in front of me, and I can't find it. But if I look for it tomorrow, I'll walk right to it. So I can't. The benefit of a second day of shipping, 2 day handling is, I wait to the last minute before I have to cancel because I will look, 2 or 3 more times. If you look and then go look again at the same time, you look the same way. It's psychology. I can promise you the next day you look again a different way.
I lost a GameCube game, $30 GameCube game. No idea where it's at. It should have been in the box, and it's not in the box. And I went back. I had to cancel it, unfortunately. Now I'll come across it at some point.
Let's have another battle.
And I did that with a DVD a couple weeks ago. That one I came across after I canceled, which sucks. And that was an Amazon order. That's
Reseller Genie, eBay accounting if you need it. There you go. There's your link. Save you some money if you need accounting.
What accounting do you use?
Jared, and I told him last week I had the stuff sitting and I didn't. Oops. Jared, if you're watching this, I apologize for being terrible.
That's why my accountant has access to all my accounts. You get your own freaking shit. Leave me alone.
Yeah, but he does everything. He doesn't, to pull up.
I got a CFO too.
Mostly all that Jared would need from Scott is verifying certain things. That's what he always got from me. He had access to everything else.
I can't tell you how many times if Jacob's listed it, I can't find it. He can walk right to it. I'm like, Jacob, this is your picture. Where is it?
I used to have that kind of system where I knew where it was. I never labeled my bins, but then it got to a point where I had too many items listed. Finally, I had to start labeling things. And you know what? I'll never go back to that other system.
Texas Man at Field, 24 large totes of small engine parts alone. Can you imagine if he doesn't code them and number them and that kind of stuff? Because one carburetor looks like another carburetor, looks like a spark plug, looks like a wire. How do you know which one goes to what? That would be to find 2 of the same thing, have to figure out which one you need would be an astronomical waste of time. When you could have just stuck it in a bag or put a label on it.
You go to a scrapyard. What kind of system do they have? They have a yellow pencil, and they write the number right on the windshield of the car. And then I'm sure there's numbers that correspond to that to each part of that car. And they look in their computer, and they know exactly which car to go pull that part off of. It's a system.
Which car has that part?
Yeah.
They can tell you which car the part was pulled from and which car still has the part on it.
Okay, so the mice got to the Ford, and they ate the wires on the number 4 cylinder. So I needed to go to O'Reilly's up the street. O'Reilly looked at the part in the computer, and it tells them the location on the shelf and the bin in the store. He walks right back and picks it up.
Brings it to you and charges you
$42. What the fuck? But it's being able to walk right to it on how much time does that save their employees having a system like that? Can you imagine if their employees had to go look at all the shelves? Well, this is where all the plugs for the spark plugs. Yeah, that would be. So should I assemble computer components together or sell them individually?
I don't know. You tell me.
Depends on the computer.
you gotta understand. You need to look at it and determine, is it worth your labor to put them together, or is it more, or or do you make enough money to sell them apart? You've got to look in your niche, nights and say knee, and figure out, what way works for you. Where is the money that's based on your time? Is your labor putting into it? Will you get the labor out of it? Okay, so I'm at an estate sale. I want to buy a dual player, VCR DVD combo. Is it worth the 5 minutes for me to look all around the room and in all the other rooms to find the remote? You're damn right it is. But so I don't know enough about assembling a computer. I sell them individually just because if I put them together, it's like it's you get done and you go, I wonder what these parts go to. And if I know, hopefully it works.
I know people. We know people that take shit apart just to sell the pieces.
Correct, and that's the other way. Remember, you're putting labor into it. People don't like that, but you're to disassemble and all that stuff. You're adding labor, but remember, your expertise is worth something. If that's what you're good at, people will pay for it. Parts sell.
My wife got really good at parting. Because we'd go to the bin store and buy appliances mostly for her on her side, and she got really good at knowing what part was what. She didn't. By the time she was done, she didn't even have to look anything up on her phone anymore. She knew that much about the parts, and so if you get good at something, you can make a lot of money. And she's still selling those parts, even though we haven't been at a bin store in 4 or 5 months now.
Okay, so the one thing I've been telling you is, as the economy gets worse, and it's going to get worse, folks, it's going to continue to go off the rails until we get serious about. So I told you I'm selling used stuff. Used stuff, there's a high demand for used stuff. They're not making as much new stuff as they were. People would rather pay a little less, or they want the same thing they have. So in the same line of things, the more the economy goes off the rails, the more parts are more valuable. People will take 5 minutes to fix their item they have they'll pay you $30 to fix it versus $150 to buy another one. And so the more you can part out, the more you can do that kind of stuff. I think that demand is only going to go up.
Here's what's hilarious. My wife sells crock pot knobs from a crock pot. Some kid pulled the knob off. You can't find it. You need the knob. Or the crock from the inside. They don't sell for a ton of money, but plus shipping. She puts calculated shipping on there, and that people drop them, they break. She sells a lot of those.
Let's just say they appreciate that. Hire a teenager. Y'all never gonna live that down, are you?
You finally got one, didn't you?
I don't know how much hiring I did, but I'm still paying him the same amount. A roof over his head.
Yeah, but he could make it a job if he wanted to.
And look at Old Fart here. Old Fart will tell you, are you going to trash your whole lawnmower, or are you going to buy you've got the 15-year-old lawnmower your belts are for? Or are you going to put a new belt on it and it's going to work good enough?
You'd be surprised at the amount of people who actually do trash them. That's another whole story. You can go out on garbage night and pick up a lawnmower off the side.
Todd bought lawnmower belts to older lawnmowers, and you would think, how hard are these to sell? People don't get rid of lawnmowers until they can't fix them, folks. That is a big expense that it's almost like a challenge to most guys. I will keep this damn thing running before I buy another one.
Oh yeah.
I had to buy a belt for my snowblower this year, and a shear pin.
For what?
For my snowblower.
For what? What the hell is that?
Damn if I know.
You come up here in December, and I'll give you a good quick lesson.
No, just send us pictures, please.
I saw snow for like 12 hours.
You've seen them.
It was gone. That's perfect. And they shut the whole town.
Someday I'll be there.
But there's so much opportunity right now if you're willing to get at it. There's plenty of information out there. I'll show you some examples if you know what you know. I'll showed these yesterday. If you were on Todd's show yesterday, I was at the flea market. It's the second day at the flea market. I think this person didn't open the first day. These were sitting on the vendor's table. I got to the flea market at 1 p.m., so they'd been there all morning. How much did I pay for the headsets, and how much are they worth? Sennheiser, you should know that name. Sennheiser is very good German quality and audio. They are on par with Bose. Sennheiser. It was an Amazon return, so there. So she had a bunch of Amazon return stuff.
Pallets.
They
buy pallets and set them up at the flea market.
How much are the headphones, ma'am? She turns around, looks at it, and she goes, "How much you want to pay?" And I thought about, I should never give the first price. What would Harlan say? $10. And she said, she looked at me and she says, "I think I looked them up. Maybe they were 40 or 50. I don't know. Just give me the $10. That's fine." Then she starts mumbling to herself. Maybe they were 200. I don't know. The last pair of these brand new on Amazon sold for $597. Somebody had them listed for over $1,000, but I'm sure they got price alerted out of that. This is an extremely expensive pair of headphones. I'm going to list them for, I don't know, probably $249. They look listed like new. I tested them to make sure that's as simple as plugging them into my phone, and they play beautiful. That was it. Sennheiser. All those people that have been by there for 5 or 6 hours, nobody bothered to pick up the $500 headphones.
But you know what? She has a business model, and you have a business model. Her business model is to buy this stuff cheap and sell it for a small profit and keep moving. And your business model is to buy it for a little bit more money and sell it for a lot more. And you both are happy at the end of the day.
You should know that right there. That's Razor. Razor means expensive. There's the headphones. I bought these before I bought them when I was walking around. I asked the dude how much. He said, "Well, I think they're worth about $160. I'll take half, 80." I'm like, I said, I'm in at 60. He has, "I can do 70. That's probably about it." They're worth it. And I'm like, where did he look these up? Because the last pair sold for $4.25. I don't know where he got the 160 for. 2 pairs of headphones were stupid money at a flea market that I was second day 5 hours late to. But yet, how many people walked through there? How many resellers walked through there and go, "I couldn't find anything. It was terrible."
Well,
that was worse. That was a flea market. I couldn't find nothing.
I see that a lot. And the vendors, there's vendors there. "Well, we didn't sell anything today." Well, your stuff is garbage. That's why you didn't sell anything, or way overpriced. You get some good flea market vendors who price their stuff correctly, and they sell, and they're happy. Just like that first lady, she didn't care that you were getting it for $20 when it was, or $10 when it was a $200 pair. She cared about making that sale, and she made the sale, and she made money that day.
Because
but a lot of these guys go there and price out of the market and never make anything, and they're losing money.
I want to show the. Don't want to show the real quick. Is it still?
Listen to what they're taught. Sometimes you can overhear their conversations, one flea market guy to another, and they're the same as eBay people. They're bitching. They're bitching about how little money they make and how the flea market's taking advantage of them by charging them $20 a table or whatever it is.
Yeah, thrift and flip. $20 printer, untested parcel loans, $150 plus shipping. I'm telling you, if you're willing to ship a printer, there's stupid money in printers.
Printers aren't my business model. It doesn't work for me. I've never had as much luck as you. You're in a different area. That's another thing. You have to know the area you're from, because here we'll get the low end printers. So it's not a high end economy area. But where Scott is, you got people, who've got some money. They got good stuff, different stuff. Now here you have to know what you're looking for.
Celine lover. Who loves Celine?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell's his name? Chad.
That was
Chad.
Golden Finger, yes. Chad.
That son of a bitch remember he used to take them freaking vacuum cleaners apart, make them look like brand new?
He still does that with watches. He is meticulous about high-end watches, taking them apart and putting them together, and then he's cleaned them, serviced them, and added to them. He gets higher dollars selling them because he adds his time and energy into it. Can say it's been refurbished.
he made the vacuum cleaner's got to be making him damn good money.
I looked at one he get finished with something, and you look. I mean, it's not just vacuuming; it was anything. He is very good at restoring things. You look at it and go, "Holy crap, that thing looks like it's new."
If you can do something like that, you can make you got to find what works for you. If you can make $1, duplicate it, and make $2.
I got back yesterday to give her about the $500, but she wasn't there.
If you want to learn something about taking a vacuum cleaner apart, there are a lot of YouTube videos on that stuff, and it's not necessarily
just
about making
buy
money.
one and take it apart and try and put it back together again.
Right, it's not that big a deal. Now I don't vacuum cleaners take up a lot of space, so you got to understand how much space you got. But I take computers apart and sell the parts off of them all the time. Laptop screens sell well. The only big issue with laptop screens is the buyer doesn't always know what they're buying. So if it comes back 3 times, it's going in the trash because I'm done with it. But other than that, there's a lot of things you can take out of a computer that somebody needs, or a lot of things you can take off a vacuum cleaner or a crock pot. It's easy money. You can buy broken things and still sell the parts off the.
Dusty used to buy the weirdest shit, man, and buy tons of it and sell it over and over and over again because it was like he listed it once and all he had to do was ship it after that.
I got a
screws.
Pressure washer.
He used to sell freaking screws.
Yep. I got a pressure washer at a yard sale for $10 because they thought the water pump was broken on it. Turns out the water pump was fine. It was a carburetor that was no good. Put a new carburetor on that. Now, I could sell that for $150 today if I wanted to. I needed a pressure washer, so I haven't. But if you can learn little things like that, how to replace a carburetor on a lawnmower, or you can make some good money locally. But you can do that on any scale. You can do it small things, big things. It doesn't matter. If you're looking for, you can't go to a Goodwill bins and say you can't make money there, because you're at least going to find something you can part out.
I can't make money there because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, because you don't want to.
And
you got to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each individual bin store is different too. You got to learn that.
I can't refurbish a watch, but I can sure put a battery in one.
Absolutely.
Is that what that is? Watches?
These are watch batteries.
Yeah, I keep a big selection myself.
Okay, so here's another good example. The guy I bought this one was a reseller. He was at the flea market. He had some cool stuff. $10. How many people
I
don't
would have died if I saw that. I would have fell over and fainted if I saw that for $10.
In the back of the flea market, I walk up there and I saw that. I'm like, I didn't even argue. I paid him the $10, and he looks at me and says, "I can't guarantee they're not dried out." And I told him, "Well, I'm probably gonna tell the next person the same thing." He looked at it, goes, "What's it worth?" I'm like, "Do you really want to know?" He's like, "Sure, I really want to know." The last one of these sold on eBay for $125 plus 12 shipping. Did you know that a 4-pack of bleach pen is worth $125 plus shipping?
I knew.
Remember, by the time I got around to that side of the flea market, instead of 1 o'clock, we're pushing 2 o'clock. It took me an hour to get around there to look at all the stuff because I already bought the headphones and walked them back to the van.
So what was it, a year and a half ago? If you knew where to look, you could still find them in stores.
Yeah,
you can make. I mean, what do they cost? Like $4 or $5 a piece.
Remember
tops?
I bought them on the way to Vegas in October. I was in a store and I walked by them. I'm like, wait a minute, that's bleach pens hanging there. I took them to the register, 6 of them. They rang up on clearance at 41 cents.
Do you remember when we were flipping Dollar Tree?
Yep.
And I put in them stainless steel wipes that were $19 because it was discontinued and people were paying $19 a package for them stainless steel wipes, and we were going in buying the whole freaking string. Remember, they hung on the freaking end caps.
Yep.
On that plastic string. It was a bitch to get them off of.
I've
There's
cleaned. I
nobody.
hate them stupid plastic strings, by the way, but I've cleaned them off of different products when I was selling Dollar Tree
There's
stuff.
nobody that's got a 4-pack. That's not 125. I'll probably go up to 139 and see what happens.
I used to sell the little eyeglass repair kits you can get from Dollar Tree. It used to be one of my good small and lights. They're not anymore. Too many people are on it.
Yeah, my brother sold them.
Yeah, man, did I sell a lot of this stupid. You're paying. That was when they were $1, so you're paying $1.06, and we were selling it for like $8, something like that. I mean, it was quick, easy money. It was when small and light was different. And man, did we sell hundreds and hundreds of those things, probably thousands of those things.
My brother has an item right now from Dollar Tree. He buys 12 boxes every week off the truck. And he makes $4 for every dollar he put. Well, it's $1.25 now. He makes $4 every time he sells one.
And if you can do that in bulk, man, you can make some money.
What do you mean if? You can.
And I have.
The problem is this country has gone to instant gratification. If you can't put it up and immediately make $1 million, they have to move on to the next product. Nobody wants to put their head down and work for 6 months to get something off the ground. When I sell a product, when I put a product up, and I've told you this, Steve, I told Marcia this, I've said it on the show a million times, it's 6 months to 18 months before I even decide if I'm going to keep selling it or not. Because it takes that long for people to find it. Even with advertising. I feel like I'm smoking a joint. I'm trying to get every last drop of this freaking cigar out.
That's one hell of a cigar. I mean, how long have we been on? And you were smoking that thing. You've been on an hour.
This is a short one.
You were smoking that thing. You were smoking that thing before we started.
This is a short one. I got some 3-hour cigars.
I cannot go that long on a cigar. I mean, I haven't smoked a cigar in a lot of years.
Oh, hell.
I can't go that long on a cigar. I get sick after a while. I have to put it out.
Yeah, but see, this is my thing is cigars. So
of course, I was buying the cheap shit, so that could be part of it.
But the one thing I can tell you is, if sell wider, sell more items, be curious. People will tell me, "Oh, but I watch all these soul videos. That's how I know what the value of stuff is." That's bullshit. You might learn one every now and then. You can't remember it all. You have the true way to remember how something is to look it up. If you look it up while you're out there, it sticks in your memory a whole lot more than, well, I think I saw that on so-and-so's video. I can't remember what it was worth, whatever the model. If the item is in front of you, figure out what it's worth. It's not.
Now, it's a good guide. Watching other people do it's a guide. And you can learn stuff, but learn by doing is the best way.
But you also have to come up with your own process and system to do it. And I don't care who you are, you have a system and a process of what you're doing right now. It may not be written down. It may not be exact every time.
That is close.
But you have a process.
No, 100%. It's amazing how, the one thing I can tell you is if you're struggling a little bit, and I truly am sympathetic. I don't want to see anybody struggle. But the one thing I can tell you is, if you keep doing the same thing what you're doing now and you're struggling now, it's not going to get any better.
Struggling.
It's not going to get any better.
You got to change. You got to change course, like I did. You got to figure out what works for you and do it.
The longer you blame it on a platform, the longer you blame it on whatever, and look internally instead of looking internally and figuring out how to do things different, how to adjust. You don't believe me? It doesn't get any better. I'll meet you at Woolworths this afternoon and buy you a soda at the fountain stand.
And then you'll go Sears to show them how to thrift, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Woolworths, man. When I was a kid, that was the shit.
I mean, look at the dustbin of history. What's the one thing you should learn from all of it? In business, the businesses that are not here anymore, they didn't adapt. They thought it could never look at all the online stuff. Oh, that's never gonna get big. How many of the trucking world decided planes aren't going to affect us moving stuff around?
How about trains?
Trains still move a lot, but the trains should have been in position to own all the trucking companies. They should have owned the airlines if they were smart enough to see it all. Like said, he's hired Black Diamond. Man, you are rich. Build another basement.
Here's the thing. There's still money in those things. You just got to lot them up and sell them, that way.
Kmart and Walmart were so similar. What's the difference between Kmart and Walmart? Walmart has adapted. Walmart went grocery stores, super centers, and everything else. You can see one every now and then with a Kmart. Kmart never spent the last one. You can go in there right now. I bet the ceiling looks like hell. It's got those same ugly ass white shelves. They're still bare. It still smells like you're at your grandma's house. They never adapted. They never changed. Look, I have our Walmart down the street this thing's only 10 years old, and they are remodeling that stupid thing. What are they doing? On the inside, they have changed it to where they've got self-checkout lanes now instead of that little corral area that was awful.
I don't like the corrals. Ugh.
I mean, this is their flagship store that they train all their managers at. There's a big management training thing in the parking lot, and this store is always immaculate. And I thought, I'm walking in there, I'm like, why are they spending all this money on this store? This store is always beautiful. It's not good enough.
I bet you my Walmart, my local Walmart, is remodeled 3 times in the last 10 years. It's a scheduled remodel. They move things around on purpose.
I'm about to go into a psychological hole. Tom Hucks is trying to kill me. You know how long it took me Tom to get out of my head? My childhood was Husky Toughskins. That was awful.
Oh yeah, man.
God, Husky Toughskins. What the hell?
I was a skinny boy, so
all
my clothes came from yard. My clothes came from yard sales. So I'm wearing 10-year-old bell bottoms in 1987. Not really, but it felt like that.
Mine still come from yard.
That was a tough childhood. I'm telling you what.
I told you yesterday at the thrift store for $3 a pair. I bought 2 pair of Duluth trading shorts. I am not going to pay $60 and $50 a pair for those shorts. Let me give you some advice. Once you take them home and wash them, they're used for everybody.
Have you?
They just are. $6 versus $110, $120 is much nicer. How about what?
Listen, this is not a hard thing.
Yeah.
It's really not. What makes it hard is you see somebody like me at the level I'm at now, and you think I did it overnight. I was just looking. I started this 16 and a half years ago.
Yep.
This is not an overnight gig. I struggled all the way up into the thing that turned my business around the most was the pandemic.
It changed the way people shop. It really
changed the way people shop. And I happened to have an item that I was heavily stocked in that took off. That really took off during the pandemic, and it really carried me through the pandemic. So did I get lucky? Yeah, I got lucky, but I was in the right place. I was already making money.
You made your luck. You made your own luck.
But you got to find what works for you. And if it works for you, you stop listening to what everybody else says works for them and trying their system and work your own freaking program. That's the biggest thing that I can tell anybody is once you figure out how to make $1, keep making your dollar. Don't worry about what Beard's doing or Steve's doing or what Lag isn't
Certainly
doing.
not what I'm doing.
You got to do what works for you. Steve, you still getting those items that I showed your wife? She's
We
still doing.
haven't in a while because we haven't had an opportunity to go on. That's an overnight trip. You have to make that.
Yeah, I know it's over. I was just asking.
So we haven't done it in a while, but I just packed some up for her the other day. She's still selling them.
See, it still sells. She found. I showed her a product that sells. I showed her a source to get it from, which was better than any source that I ever had.
Lag is not lazy. He's just very relaxed.
Well, I'm getting lazy. I have a training session today at 8:00. It's 7:05 here. I got a training session at 8:00 today. I got one tomorrow at 8:00. Friday, I'm going to ask them if they have any questions. Monday, I'm leaving my freaking computer at home. And Tuesday, I'm getting on a ship to go freaking on a cruise to Alaska for 10 days. And I am not taking my computer with me. And I expect my business to be doing more when I get back than when I left. And it's because of the systems and processes I've built over the last 16 years that have allowed me to do it. Now, Scott has said it numerous times. He used to do twice the money I did per day.
I still do the same level, and I'm still happy. He got what he wanted. He's happy. So,
no, I ain't happy.
So flip it good. I can't. Everybody, whenever they got regated in a lot of these categories, people are at a crossroads. How many people went to bitching about it, and how many people like you went to figuring out how to get re-ungated? It is how you react to a situation a lot of times in business. When you come to a fork in the road or you come to a brick wall, do you run into it or you make a left or a right turn and keep going?
Listen, a year from now, there's going to be half the sellers that there are currently. You know why? AI is going to take out a big percentage of them because people are going, oh, AI is nothing. It's the computer. It's the computer all over again. Well, guess what? The computer took out a lot of people.
Well,
if you're not willing to adapt and change,
if they'll ever get off their asses and deal with the debt ceiling in a positive manner, they're going to at some point they're going to have to come up with what the new reporting levels are for business. They're not going to leave it at $20,000 too much longer, and that's going to when people realize they have to pay taxes. And the other thing,
John, is that they're doing that new re-verification thing too. That's going to take out a lot of sellers because some of these sellers aren't quite legit.
How many people bought second accounts and can't get it verified because it's with the original owner?
Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea. I know $1 million sellers that are going under.
Yep.
I'll tell you though. Is yours still under risk of deactivation, John? I know it was the other day.
No, it just disappeared.
That was
mine still says it. That's why I'm trying to.
But
I did all the verification. There's nothing I can do now.
They said within 48 hours. This was yesterday. From one step down, but their CEO structure at Amazon is a little funky. It's one step below a vice president. Put out that in a private message to a group of people I'm in that within 48 hours, they should be able to get that fixed. There is a glitch in their system. They know there's a glitch. They're aware of it. I don't agree with how they're putting out information about it because a lot of people are scared because it says your account's at risk of being suspended. They're aware of it.
Is there anything we should do? I mean, should I open a case or
just keep working, keep trying to do what they are asking for. Eventually,
there's nothing I can do. It won't let me do anything more. It's all been verified.
Then you just wait, and the system will pick it up. They are well aware of the problem.
I did it a couple of weeks ago, or probably a week and a half ago. And
did it ever say it was verified?
Yeah, I got a note that said it was verified.
It'll eventually clear itself, is what they're saying.
The email.
But you need to be aggressive about it too. when you start reading that it's getting taken care of by other people and yours not, then you need to open a case. Opening a case right now is not going to do anything. They're flooded with cases about it.
So I'll just give it a little bit more time. And
here's what I was told about it. If you run a legitimate business, and I run a legitimate business, I mean, my tax book this year is 1.5 inches thick. So if you run a legitimate business and you do everything that you're supposed to be doing, you will get through the verification process.
My only problem is the only check mark I have is next to my identity. Phone number, bank account, business address, and tax ID number aren't checked.
That's because they've already been verified, is what they're saying.
I can't do anything. There's nothing I can click on. There's no more options for me to do anything. That's why I'm asking. Then
you're pretty much verified for what they want at this time. And
I'm sure
and so no two verifications are the same. Some they're saying, we're going to send you a postcard to your business address. That
would be fine with me too.
With a 12-digit code on it that you're going to have to enter into some kind of text box. Not everybody's going through the process where you got to send in a bank statement and all that. But I have everything, so I'm not worried about it.
Mine did ask for the bank statement.
If you run a legitimate business, then you're going to walk right through it. Not everybody runs a legitimate business. Not everybody's above board.
How many people are they spent all this time? I don't see it as much anymore, but once Amazon allowed you to have 2 accounts, but how many of these people are teaching you how to get a shadow account and to hide from Amazon? Those are the ones that are going to struggle. It's are you a seller that's doing everything like you're supposed to? You're not going to struggle. You're just going to give them the information and be fine.
Oh, these poor drop shippers. Oh man. It's just another thing that Amazon, they're sticking it to them again. Amazon's the devil. This is actually a federal thing that they have to do, but it's funny to me that people who look for ways around things are the ones who have the biggest voices when it comes to complaining about shit too.
You know what this is all about? This is a way to cut back on the amount of Chinese sellers that are. It's not just Chinese sellers. I shouldn't say. It's a way to limit the black hat selling and theft that's going on the internet that you don't hear about.
Well, it's also required. The government's changed some of what they require, and so they're forcing them to have an ID or.
It's to stop the flow of money outside of this country. You don't realize how many sellers on Amazon have an American address.
Yep.
That they got out of a phone book or something. That they're running their business digital.
Go look on eBay. You can find them. Everything comes from. There are several addresses. Port of Industry, California is one of them. That they've all got addresses, and they, you look at it and go. So from California, why is it shipping 10 or 11 days? It's coming from China. It's not. They've got American addresses. There's several I found in New Jersey. There's other California.
Miami's a big place for it.
Delaware's huge. Actually, your freight forwarders tend to be. I know what that is. It's a clock.
Clock, yeah, that's a good one. I bought one at the thrift store yesterday.
I've never seen one like that though, with the different color of balls.
I've got one at Forks and Knives on it.
Yeah, I got cute balls.
It's because you use the toner spray, right?
Mm-hmm. Got some blue ones. Got a pair of blue ones. He
wears Duluth, man.
You probably got to take care of that. You probably got to take care of that blue ball problem, though.
It's
not fun.
So I got home yesterday. I'm like, I'm gonna try them on, make sure they fit, because they're 2 sizes down. So I got there with 34s, and they had a little bit of elastic in the waist, but they fit fine. And I looked at it, Jody. I'm like, I'm wearing some Harlan shorts, and she goes, I noticed you were showing a lot of knee there. What the hell?
Well, I'm going to forewarn everybody that follows me on Facebook.
Oh shit.
I went out and spent well over $1,000 for clothing for this cruise. My jeans are tailor made.
Taylor
I said
Swift.
I said I was going to go out and buy nice clothes when I finally got under 200 pounds, and I'm under 200. And
Good for
I
you,
went out,
man.
I went shopping in Vegas, and I had a tailor, and all my jeans are hemmed and tucked.
Good for you. Now it's my turn. I've lost almost 10 pounds. But
There you go.
Mine's gonna be slow. I know it's gonna be slow.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. At least you're going the other way now.
Yeah,
Are you
because
tax exempt? Tax exempt?
I
on
was
what?
I was gaining a bit.
Am I
I know.
tax
Guessing
exempt?
he's-
I pay taxes. I paid more taxes last year than what they say the average income in the country is.
I know how you can lose some weight, Steve. Just start smoking and vaping again. You're gonna be good.
Yeah, it would be quick. I get down to my 220 really quick. That's my goal, is 220. My wife would like to see me under 200, but this morning I was 280, which is a lot. But I was 290 at the beginning of the month.
Lag, do you miss anything, Lag?
So you don't pay taxes when you buy from an estate sale.
He
Oh,
doesn't
Mark, I'm the wrong guy. I don't buy none of that crap. I don't do none of that.
Who? I don't
I
pay
ship
taxes when I buy from an estate sale. I don't think anybody does.
I ship by pallet. All new product. I sell the same stuff over and over again.
Now, some of us, you can get sales tax exemptions.
Oh yeah,
Like Dollar Tree will do it. Walmart
When I
will
did
do
that
it.
stuff, Goodwill didn't charge me tax. Walmart didn't charge me tax. Dollar Tree didn't charge me tax. You can get tax exempts
It's
in
really
your
easy.
state,
To do, yeah.
but
Well, you have to have a business license, whatever they call it in your state.
I have license. I have all my business license. I'm incorporated. I have all the documentation I'm supposed to have. The one thing
So
Dusty
do
and I never agreed on was my grandiose ideas of how I was going to one day not work in my business and other people were going to do it.
Holy crap, Ron! You've lost more than a person. You've lost two people.
Who?
Harbor's Hope, Ron. 384 pounds since 14.
Holy! I thought
That's
I did something
crazy,
losing
man.
82 pounds.
That's crazy.
I lost 82 pounds. I thought I was doing something.
384 pounds. Jeez, Jesus, that's almost wow.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot of weight.
That's
of weight.
awesome, dude.
Here I am worried about losing 50 or 60 pounds. You know.
Well, I got to run. I got a training meeting in a half an hour, and I'm sure my wife's going to want coffee.
You probably ought to walk. You don't want to be all sweaty when you get there.
Who?
You just got to turn
You
around.
said you
walk
got to run.
The house is right there.
Well, that's not much of a run then. Jeez.
The house is right there.
A lovely house it is.
So somebody give us a question or something to talk about, or I'll pick something to get us demonetized today.
Uh-oh.
How DeSantis? I'll leave you a topic as I leave. How Trump will back DeSantis for the 2024.
I think you're right, bud.
I think you're
We'll
delusional.
go there.
Trump is not going to run. I'm telling you now. Trump will not run for president in 2024.
Have you met Donald Trump? Man, he's a little bit of spiteful. If he loses, you think he just walks away? Yeah, right.
Okay.
No, but he if his candidate wins, then he wins. I don't know.
Ron
Exactly.
DeSantis is not his candidate. If you
That
look
may
where
be
the
true.
money,
I don't know.
look where the money that's backing him and some of the decisions he makes, his middle name should be Rhino.
But I think he's going after it the right way. Just like in 2015, I said if nobody looks at Trump, Trump is going to walk right into the White House.
I think he wins again.
Who?
Trump.
No.
I have mixed feelings about that.
It's a different time, Scott, and he's going to try and run the same campaign, and it's not going to work. That's the one thing about Trump is he's hard-headed.
But he's also with his stance on things, he is currently taking, he's going where Ron DeSantis will not go. When he's pledging to fire everybody and all that stuff, Ron DeSantis will not go down this thing. And I'm telling you, that part, there are so many people that support Trump that would never vote for DeSantis.
Until Trump says to vote for him.
If it's DeSantis, we have another Democrat. I'm telling you right now, I don't think DeSantis can beat what's the name out of California.
Newsom?
Newsom's going to be the Democratic nominee. He's traveling.
Bullshit.
He's traveling.
Scott, what you been smoking or eating this morning?
You mark my words.
That would not be good.
I'm shocked that he's not already the president.
I think I saw. Tell me if I'm wrong, Scott.
You're wrong.
Did the Russians take out a arrest warrant on Lindsey Graham?
Yes, they did.
Why?
Because he's a douchebag.
Well, I know that's beside the point, but
there goes the channel.
What did he do?
I didn't read. I didn't read why they did it.
I'm not in the position to do a lot of reading right at the moment, so.
You can read like Popeye. Put a patch on.
No, it gives me a headache.
All right,
Anyway.
well, I'm out of here. Hello and good night from the frickin' Mars, it feels like.
It says following his comments related to fighting in Ukraine. They're opening a criminal inquiry against him for comments about the war. Who knows?
All right, guys, I'm out. You all have a blessed one. I'll see you. No, I won't see you next week. I'll be on a cruise.
We'll be
Have
sad.
fun.
Maybe I'll come on live at the cruise. Can I get on from my phone?
Yeah, you can.
You're not taking your well, yeah, you can get on from your phone. But
All right.
If you got good
Later.
Wi-Fi.
We'll see what the ship has. I may be on a glacier. I don't know what day I'm going on the glacier.
if you are, then we want to see it.
I am landing I have a private helicopter with Lori landing on a glacier, and then the dude's doing a private tour to show me all the wildlife that lives on a glacier.
If you're on a glacier, we want to see it.
Oh, I will definitely. There will definitely be pictures on Facebook.
Somebody will pack John up and think he's a woolly mammoth or something.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm
He's not so mammoth anymore.
I'm pretty quick on my feet. I actually can get up without freaking holding on to something.
I'll tell you before John leaves. If you want to see how quick John is on his feet, go walk around ASD with him once. You won't keep up with him. I don't care who you are.
It's a tough run. It's a tough gig there. ASD's not easy.
Yeah. I was sweating my balls off by the end of the day. I tell you that. Just trying to keep up with you.
But the one thing I can tell you, John, is if one or two more Republicans throw their hat in the ring, Trump wins.
I'll be right back.
Because right now there's what, 4 or 5?
5.
The problem is and 5 might be enough. The problem is Trump's going to carry 35%, his 35% no matter what. And and then he'll get more, and the rest of them are dividing up the rest. And that's what happened. That's how he won in 15 is through the Republican Party. Is there were so many of them, they got sliced and diced. The more people that enter the race, the better for Trump. That's why Trump said, he congratulated Tim Scott for getting in. He congratulates them all. Come on, join the race.
He didn't congratulate DeSantis.
That would be very interesting to have a Trump and Tim Scott ticket.
I thought he was taking Pence again. I hear my wife. I better go make coffee.
Maybe Big Mike will run. I'm telling you right now, somebody needs to take up the $50,000 challenge and find a picture of Big Mike pregnant.
All right. You all have a blessed one. I'm out.
See you, John.
That money has never been claimed for a picture of Big Mike pregnant.
Who the hell's Big
Who's
Mike?
Big Mike?
Michelle Obama.
Oh.
Oh.
Big Mike. Damn it, you sound like your girlfriend, Scott. I tell you what, never get you two together. Anyway, I just happened to see that yesterday flipping through YouTube, and I didn't listen to the video. I was just wondering what the deal was with Lindsay.
Yeah, Anissa, if you look at some of the comments Kaylee's made since office has ended, she's not been as loyal as she could have been, and she's made disparaging comments. So she gets what she gets.
Well, the other party has got a lot of people, a lot of young Democrats running against Biden. So
Newsom's going to win it. So
does Biden even go for a second term? I mean, does he run for a second term, or is he
be alive then?
I've always wondered if he was going to make it. Yeah.
Is Biden alive now? Which Biden?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the scary thing about the time we live in, and the deep fakes and all this stuff. Because if you look at Biden and all the pictures, the pictures of some pictures he has a mole on his forehead, some pictures he doesn't. You look at him one day, the earlobes will be attached, the next day they won't. It's obvious that they're the CIA and everything they've learned with mass technology and all that stuff. There's a reason why he's never in the White. They never used the White House for video. Everything's across the street.
It's I feel sorry for the old guy.
That'd be a great movie plot.
Larry, I agree with you. She was a very good press secretary, but she is not the same. She is not the same at working for Fox.
Who is that?
Either she is very good at doing what her employer says, and at the time it was Trump, and now it's Fox News and Fox. God, does anybody even watch Fox News?
Whatever happened to old Tucker? Did he start something else yet, or?
It's supposedly coming to Twitter, but if Elon and DeSantis can crash Twitter, what the hell's Tucker going to do to it? So I'm very interested to see how he's once he's unchained and there's no. I'd like to hear his true opinions.
I saw yesterday or last night that Target's stock is down $10 billion.
Oh yeah, and the Bud Light got their latest weekly sales, and they're down 30% last week.
Dang.
Their stock,
they'll both recover in the end. But
I think as of Friday, they have given away all their gains from this year. So they're, for those of you this is one of the biggest and most ferocious boycotts ever.
Usually boycotts don't do much. These ones for some reason have.
Well, see, people don't have to put themselves out there. They don't have to get in front of the media and whine and cry and piss and moan. All they got to do is they got to stop buying Bud, or they got to stop shopping at Target.
The difference with Bud Light is they have gone from just not buy Bud Light to now all of a sudden the peer pressure if you do buy Bud Light,
Right.
And that's where it switched.
Here's the thing: all these companies have to do is be apolitical. They don't have if you don't make any statements either way, you're probably going to do all right. But once you start making statements one way or the other, that's when people
sell your shit. That's all you got to do is sell your shit.
Unless you make a product specifically for a certain group, then why do you need to advertise anything about that group? I mean, I don't care if Target sells whatever in their store. They can sell bondage gear in their store for all I give a shit. I don't care. But when you start making that the focus of the store, that's when you get in trouble with the general population.
And see, here's the problem and why I don't have a problem with Ford and the Wrangler Raptor. I don't have they tried to draw a line with Trump here in the last week. Trump had rainbow merchandise and probably still does on his website. There's nothing wrong with that community and all this stuff. The problem is when the freaks of that side that go after kids. It's why do we think the LGBT is any different than the conservative party or the Republicans or the liberal party, the Democrats? There are lots of fine people who are LGBT, and then they have their 10% that are a bunch of fucking fruitcakes. I mean, not literally, but whack job, off the rails. Just like any, there's plenty of conservatives, and you get that little 10% that you look at. Even I look at and go, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" So every group has that, and so they went after kids at Target. When you put an 18-month-old bathing suit, it's a binding bathing suit. And tucking bathing suits for infants. What the fuck? They have pissed off Mama Bear, who was. I'm telling you, Target's going. If they don't reverse course and do something, they're going to get to where Bud Light is very quickly, because I'm telling you, you piss off mamas, it's over.
I went to an Assemblies of God church most of my life when I was younger, and when I got married the first time and we had children, my children went to Assemblies of God church. Did I make my kids go? Never. Would I make my kids go? Never. They've all made their own choices in life, and that's the way it should be. We shouldn't be putting children in something that forces them to be something they're not. If my son didn't want to play baseball, I wasn't going to force him to play baseball.
Ron thinks they'll pass Bud Light.
Well, I can't tell you the last time I was in a Target.
No,
I mean, it's just not one of my places to shop. And there's one 3 miles away from me, 4 miles away from me. It's closer than the Walmart is.
What kind of video?
Our Targets are 35 miles.
If I wear a tuck bathing suit, what kind of video would that be?
Freaky.
Now, once the kid turns into an adult, if that kid wants to tuck shit, go ahead and tuck shit. But why are we forcing children into that behavior?
Because people have no life and they're living vicariously through their child.
Well, it's just like anything else. I seen my kid was a phenomenal baseball player. I wish he would have stuck with it. He would have at least made the minor leagues. He was that good. However, he had other mental issues that forced him out. But I never forced him to play, but I saw a lot of parents who did, and those kids were miserable. But they did it because daddy wanted them to or mama wanted them to,
Because they have no life of their own and they got to try to, Johnny is a good baseball player. Well, Johnny's doesn't like baseball and he's, or Brittany's a good baseball player.
But the one nice thing about online reselling is you can really avoid a lot of this stuff. You could sell the tuck bathing suits and not really have any.
I had very serious conversations with my wife and John back in the day, and you probably remember this. We were going to sell a line of Pride stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't ever end up doing it. But I don't care either way what your sexual orientation is. There was a piece of the market that wasn't being hit at that time.
Right.
It probably still isn't. And I'm okay with selling it. Doesn't mean I profess to be that or anything. Target, on the other hand, put it right at the front of the store so everybody could see this is where we stand. This is not, and that was what
they would have been.
That's what I find wrong.
They've had Pride displays in the past, and nobody cared. You know, most people are like me. Like you just said.
Then they targeted it to people who can't make their own decisions. That's what
you target the children. Is where you screwed up. Nobody cares if there's a Rainbow Coalition shirts and that stuff available for adults. Nobody cares.
Shit, I might even wear one if it looks good enough.
If you want to self-identify as a fucking squirrel, a binary squirrel, nobody cares. It's gonna be a binary squirrel. But when you're targeting children, it's over.
I watched the video.
It's because it becomes a perversion.
Yeah,
you know.
I watched the video yesterday.
If you don't believe me, it's happening in Minnesota, I think it's Minnesota. They're trying to legalize pedophilia. They are trying to change it to where it's minor, attractive, whatever. They're trying to
outlaw TikTok and legalize pedophilia. Is that that same
do your research about what they're pushing up that way. I think it's either it's Minnesota. It's not Wisconsin. It's one of those up there. The craziness that they're trying to push upon us, folks.
Okay, so the state of New Jersey, I watched a video yesterday. The state of New Jersey, if you identify as a transgender woman, if you're a guy and you identify as a transgender woman and you go to prison, they let you choose which prison to go to, women's or men's. Guess what happened? The guy who identified, he got two of those ladies pregnant in prison. So now he doesn't have a choice. They put him in the men's prison. Well, he's facing persecution in the men's prison. Duh.
Oh, shit.
No shit. Yeah.
But has anybody noticed that if you're a conservative parent, the difference between liberal and all these confused children, these 25% or whatever that supposedly identify as whatever, are the vast majority of them have liberal parents? Is that an accident? Anybody notice that? I'm not saying it's 100% because there will be, but
I know some pastors' kids who grew up to be gay, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, but I do see that the ones who are pushing it on their children are definitely more on the liberal side of things, pushing that sort of lifestyle.
Bubba, I've seen the videos of people in Target with the children's bathing suits that talk about binding. It's not a rumor, buddy. I've seen it.
I wasn't in a Target to actually see it, but there's pictures of displays and stuff. I was in a Target a few months ago, but
that's the excuse people are using, Bubba, to say, "Oh, it's just adults," unless they've got a specific line for midgets that they put in the small children section. Is that a bad word? To use midgets, is that a bad word?
It is, yes.
Okay, midgets.
You can check out this video tomorrow on Rumble because it might not be here tomorrow.
I did tell my kids when they were younger, if you turn out to be gay, homosexual, lesbian, whatever, I'll support you. But none of them did. Well, my daughter is kind of both ways sometimes, but whatever. That's your life. Do whatever.
I haven't said anything to get this one banned yet.
You use the M word.
What, midgets? That's not a bad word.
That might not be a bannable offense. I'm not sure.
I haven't said anything about the election being stolen. I haven't mispronounced someone who is a he, she, and called them the other one.
I was watching. It was on YouTube, and it was one of these, panels. And there was an English professor on the panel, and she says she totally supports, the transgender, blah 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 blah. She said, but they or them is plural, not singular. So you've got more problems than if you think you're a they or them. Then you've got split personalities or multiple personalities. You've got more problems than what your sexual orientation is, or your, what you believe you are. And she was just going at it from the English part of it, of singular, plural, he, she.
She's missed the boat on that, Tom.
What's that?
It is coming from remember, these people are tons of these people in that movement are avowed, atheists, devil worshippers, all that kind of Satanistic stuff. If you look in the Bible and any time that Christ or anyone refers to demons and stuff, it is always in the plural, they, them.
Yeah. Well, didn't Target have some devil worshiping or t-shirts? Or was that
the designer of some of their stuff? What is an avowed atheist or Satanist or whatever he is? He, she, whatever the hell she is.
Yeah.
She is a she is now a he. So what? I can't keep up with what these people identify as, but his other work is that way. There's none of that in Target. But
Mr. Sadie says, at what point did we give so much power to such a small amount of these types of people? Because we've been conditioned to care about.
It's the media.
The outcast. It's the media. We've been conditioned to do it over a lot of years.
Because
Mark said your mic's way too loud, Tom. He said back away.
It is a bit loud.
Okay.
I know you can't see it, so move. Is that is it too early for that joke?
I moved my phone away from my face. Is that better?
Still the same.
No, it's still the same.
Okay. Well, I guess I got a sensitive mic.
It's whatever. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, they'll get over it. Just turn it down then now. But do some research on what's behind and a lot of symbolism and like I was looking at one yesterday. I need to verify this. Hold on.
Mr. Sadie, it's called deception of the gradual. That's the words I was looking for. My mom used to talk about it a lot. When you put a live frog in a pot of boiling water, that kind of thing. Or a pot of cold water and then boil it. Deception of the gradual. We've been deceived over so many years to believe this stuff should be normal when it shouldn't.
Well, the Target and the Bud thing is, they call it silent protest. People are protesting with their wallets. And when it comes down to it, that's all that matters.
The problem is we slip slowly and slowly, where the government controls through corporations. We're slipping slowly. You don't go straight to communism. We'll hit fascism on our way to communism, and that's.
I don't know. People are starting to stand up for this shit. The whole Bud Light thing and the Target thing should show you that people are starting. I mean, we let a lot of this go for a lot of years. Didn't have the protests that we should have, but people are starting to I think wake up.
Yeah, because people that have these stocks in their 401k, are getting hit hard. They
what did all the hippies do back in the 60s? They all went and got corporate jobs. They will eventually.
Now, all the hippies, just think about that. All the hippies now are the ones running all this shit, and look how fucked up it is.
That is true. They are running this shit, but
the boomers have got to be. They're going to go down as the worst generation in this country.
They became the man, is what they did. They fought the man in the early days, but then they became the man.
But they became the man with their fucking same hippie ideas that are all full of shit.
A lot of them, yes, sure. Except they realized they could make money and have their ideals.
It's at worst, as a generation, you should do no harm. But most people think you should leave the country in better shape than you found it, and improve on it for your children. And the boomers, they
Nothing against the hippies, though. I mean, they probably did a lot of good things, but their willingness for peace, love, and drugs, kind of overshadowed everything, and their loose lifestyles is what we are paying for now.
Ask a Vietnam veteran how much good the hippies did.
Oh yeah, I get it, but I'm sure there was a lot of good that came out of it.
But and just think about that. All these same ass dumb hippies and all that crazy shit from the 60s are now the war hawks they're wanting you to pour tons of money into Ukraine to fight Russia that we're not really fighting Russia. It's just so y'all ran out of time. I hope y'all are happy. Damn it.
I have a feeling though that my generation, which is a little younger, we're starting to become those people in power. Now, some of us are idiots, just like those guys are, and some of the younger generation behind us are idiots too. But I have good feeling about the future. Better feeling than I used to.
Sadie, you're exactly right. We have waited too long, and hopefully it's not too late. The one thing I'll tell you is
never too late.
Is you start reading. Well, look at a third, a half of the conservative base are sitting around waiting for the military and Q to come save them.
Here's the problem, Scott, is we were, as church kids, what were we taught? To be passive, turn the other cheek. That bullshit. That's why we're in that situation, because we were taught to be passive.
And that is not what Christ showed. What did he do when he entered the temple?
Yeah, he turned the tables.
Dealt with the money changers and all that stuff. Yeah, that not everything's passive.
But that's my biggest issue in life is I was taught as a child all those years to turn the other cheek. And I did. And I still do. And that's why we're in this kind of situation.
So Gary,
I never stood up for anything.
This is the second time I've heard about the AOC parody account. I guess I need to find the AOC parody account.
Okay, well,
I can tell you though, I see a lot of good in the children. I mean, there's a lot of bad too. The kids nowadays. So
Mr. Sadie, you should never send me pictures.
Okay, good.
You talk about some good-looking shorts now. I want me some plaid shorts like these.
That's one thing I always wanted to do is learn to play, and I never did.
Okay, Gary, which one of these is
still
the parody?
rocking?
There's a bunch of them. Which one's the right one? A bunch of them say parody. That one's only got 800 followers. That's not it. That one's not it.
He got up on one leg for this lick.
Because whichever one is the good one has got 60,000 followers yesterday.
Sorry, Sadie. You didn't give me permission to show that, but I did anyway. Everybody save this video and timestamp that.
It's easier to ask forgiveness than permission.
That's an old hippie right there.
I met a lot of reformed hippies too, who later became, kind of spoke out against a lot of that stuff. A lot of former drug users and turned into Christians and stuff. But because they made such a turn, they became passive.
It is pretty funny. So the first one I found when I find the AOC, it's called AOC Press. I personally called Twitter headquarters and told them I was going to hold my breath until my face turned blue, and they instantly removed the blue check mark from the racist, white supremacist parody AOC account.
Mark, I didn't even know Accutech had a warranty. You can try. My scale has lasted 2 or 3 years. So
see there, 50 Shades of Communism right there. This is gonna be good.
But Scott, I know communism has never worked anywhere else, nor socialism, but it'll work here.
They didn't try democratic socialism. It was
Right.
only
See,
regular socialism doesn't work. It's got to be democratic.
we didn't put the right label on it.
Mark, I have not tried. I know after a couple of years, the cables have a tendency to make it start jumping and carrying on. I just buy it's $25. I just buy another one.
Yeah. Oh, it says 10 years. Good. I got one up in the closet that I should try to turn in. Although I did try to fix it on my own, so yeah, it didn't.
I actually bought one at a yard sale for $5, so I've got a spare.
They're such a cheap scale that they work great when they work, but if you move them around too much or pull on that cord at all, then that will. So mine's mostly in that permanent position behind me, and then on occasion I'll take it out to the table. But.
So you're saying some bad things happen when you pull on the cord? Is that what you're saying?
That's what happens.
So Tim said he replaced his with a regular phone cord and it works. That's
Really?
I hadn't tried that, but you see those phones at yards.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an experiment. If you make me waste $2 at a yard sale, Timothy, damn it, I'll call you out Wednesday.
I'm sure I have a phone cord right here. Does that really work, Tim? Because that would be amazing if it does. I never thought to even try that.
No, but it sounds like a good video to make.
I just assumed that the connectors were similar but different, wired differently.
That'd be a good thing, Mark, but I've never heard of one.
I've never heard of one either, Mark.
No, I mean, you can use like a program like ShipStation and stuff, and it'll populate there with the right type of scale. But to eBay, I doubt it.
That would save
So
minutes.
the only way that I know to make it do that, Mark, is if you're in your prepping, if you put the accurate weight and dimensions and all that stuff in, when you pay on eBay, it'll populate what you put in there. That's what I mean. So you wouldn't have to measure it again. That's really
if that really works, what Tim says, that's brilliant on Accutech's part, because those things are cheap.
Yeah.
They don't have to manufacture a cord. They already have something that's pre-made. That's brilliant. The software that you pay for is like ShipStation and those kind of programs, and they come with a certain kind of scale that automatically populates, yes. But to do it straight to eBay, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
You know what, Scott? I just came up with a brilliant plan. You can't find Accutech replacement parts. Just buy phone cords and sell them as Accutech replacement part, because that's the only part that ever goes bad on there.
Yep.
Yeah, but selling for $10. Oh man, thanks, Mark. Or not Mark, Tom. Tim. My God, I'm in.
Mark, I just solved it for you, Mark. All you have to do is measure and weigh it when you're making the listing. Put in an accurate box, put in an accurate weight and dimension, and then when you go to hit print label, it'll bring it back up for you. You don't need to scale again. I solved your problem.
Sure enough. So Tim just sent me a photo. Sure enough, it's just a regular old phone cord.
But you can't tell from a photo cord if it's working.
As the numbers are on. Definitely got to try it.
But see, that's the problem from the 80s. Tim sent this long ass cord. He's got this long ass cord on. You need a little spinny.
Here we go.
You need a little spinny thing on the end of it.
I was going to do it, but this is a permanent cord, so I can't with this one. I bet you I have one down in the desk here, though. Let me mute myself because this gets loud.
God, there's no telling how many phone cords I've thrown away.
No kidding. And I did not realize that they were actually scale cords this whole time. Damn it. I could have been rich.
All right, found the cord. Let's go get the scale.
Hey, when I make a video about this, y'all watch it again anyway.
All right. Right now it's got a black cord.
I know, Mr. Sadie. You had to have a cord long enough to where, even though the phone was in the kitchen, it would reach your room.
It does plug in. Timothy, you're a genius.
If you had conversations with Timothy, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, yeah, I have. All right, now we're gonna see if it works here. I got to find something to weigh. We're gonna weigh this coffee cup. Why is it at 0.2? Oh, okay. Ready? Oh, not doing anything. Let me start over. It might be because the scale's not on an even surface.
I don't think that matters. It should be.
All right, turned on.
The big reveal.
Yeah, my scale isn't working. It just wants to stay on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not working for me.
Did you use the Democratic phone cord?
I used this one. Let me try it with the original. It might be twisted backwards, yes.
It's twisted.
Let me try the original just to make sure that it's not the receiver here. Proof of concept. That's what we're trying here.
Yeah, be careful, Steve. If you shake the cord more than twice.
Yeah. All right, we're back in. All right, zeros. Yeah. So the original cord works. So we're
So to Timothy, does yours actually? It shows the zeros on it. Did you try weighing something? He said he used a 90s cord.
well, they're all 90s cords, aren't they?
No.
Last time they made phones. I don't know where this one came from. I just know it's a phone cord.
All right, damn it.
Hey, this is what live streaming is about. I'm going to try it one more time. I made sure everything was plugged in correctly. Yeah, I get nothing with.
Am I the only one that sells phones?
I get nothing with that particular cord. So it may be that this cord is faulty for all I know.
All right. I will sacrifice one new phone for y'all. Let me look in here, make sure it comes off first before I.
So it looks to me like. Well, let me find that wire again. The wires are different. Okay, so you need a phone cord that has 4. I think it's 4. Let me look.
All right. It doesn't work. This one's firmly in. Dang it.
So if you look at this phone cord on the end, you can't see it here. It only has 2 wires coming out. So this isn't the appropriate kind of cord. This one has 1, 2, at least this one has 4 wires coming out. So this is the appropriate kind. You have to have one that has 4 wires.
All right.
So I just happen to have another 7-foot modular phone cord here. Let's see how many wires that one has.
Yeah. What about the other end? This one, they're both permanently in.
All right. This one looks like it has 4 wires.
It's like
Come
show
on.
and tell on Science Day.
Man, you do this sucks.
Okay. So this cord here has 4 wires. This one should work.
You do this sucks.
So Timothy, you might be redeemed here. Come on, get in there.
7 feet.
This is wonderful
Okay,
picture
so-
right here. We've lost so much of the audience to the
So this one doesn't even fit in the. This one doesn't even fit in. So the correct kind of cord doesn't even fit. All right, I give up.
All right, 10
I'm
o'clock.
sure I got more
I'm
phone
leaving.
cords in there.
So Tim shows
I'm sure I
his-
got more phone cords somewhere.
So therefore, I will be on the hunt weekend for.
So what would you have? You have to find a very specific phone cord.
I'm going to the thrift
because-
store in just a minute. Don't worry. I will.
Take this part of your scale with you and plug it in. Make sure it works.
Yeah, right.
Well, because this modular one, this is too wide. It won't fit in.
That thrift store usually has phone cords in the bins, so don't worry. I'll find it.
What are they? 50 cents or less? You can buy a couple of them.
$1 at the most. I got to go out anyway. I got to go buy boxes to make golf club boxes. Because I think I'm required to ship them golf clubs today.
All right, guys. What is this red spot on my forehead?
It's where the hat's been sitting.
No, it isn't. My hat doesn't sit down that low.
Oh, well, then
It's been there for months. And it's cancer?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
It's dry to the touch. I just want to know, seriously, because my wife is concerned about it. I'm not. It barely, sometimes it itches. Most of the time it doesn't, but it's really dry to the touch.
Isn't that where you lean up against the wall when you're taking a piss?
That could be it. I think you're right. I think you finally figured it out. My wife is annoyed by it. So.
Yeah, you're already hard to look at, but with a big red spot, it makes it terrible.
Yeah. Now the hat. See, that's where, if the hat was sitting on it, that's where it would have to be.
See, we fixed it for you. Just pull the hat down.
That's what I do most of the time.
You're welcome, Marsha.
She ain't
probably
listening.
She's probably just wrecked the car driving somewhere.
She doesn't listen to this show. What are you, crazy? Unless she's at home. She's not home. She's never home anymore.
Marsha.
If you do that too many times, you summon a demon or something.
I was supposed to be the one that gets to change
Oh, hell yeah.
shows.
Big girl hit two. We got two big girl. Appreciate that. I looked out for y'all. I got 75 cases. Y'all need to keep buying this stuff.
All right, Tom, you gonna do a show tomorrow? If he doesn't do one, I guess I'll do one.
Who are you talking to? The man with one eye is gone.
Well, he's probably in the side chat.
One more thing before I sign off. Anybody want to buy a Glowforge? I need to sell this piece of shit. When I say piece of shit, it's a wonderful machine. I just don't have time to use it. Half price. Today only.
I don't know anything about them.
I'm
just saying, if anybody, it's not the right place to sell it. They're so heavy.
$10.
Lag said
yeah,
10.
no, sorry, Lag. You can rent it for an hour for $10. How's that? If I have to ship it, it's going to be $4,500. If I don't have to ship it, probably $4K. It's what the used one goes for. Anyway, just thought I'd put it out there if one of you guys is thinking about one.
I'm definitely not thinking about one. I don't have enough room in here. Not to mention, I'm not.
They're a wonderful. I wish I could keep it, but I want to. I need the space. I'm going to put all my tape machine on that table and my air pillow machine, that kind of thing. And I need to pay off that credit card, so it needs to go. And that'll give me some freedom to do more eBay and stuff.
All right,
it's one less payment a month.
You know how to get in touch with me if you need it. Boredom wants to know, does it have the right cord, though?
Well, I got several around here. We could try it.
He's talking about the Glowforge.
Yeah. I know. It has the right. You know what it takes is the same exact cord that any computer, a desktop computer takes. Same cord.
USB?
No.
Oh, the same power cord. 3-prong power cord, yeah. All right, everybody.
Used a Glowforge Pro. Mr. Sadie goes for about $4,500, $4K, somewhere in that range.
I drank 2 cups of coffee and a Coke. I got to go.
Later. Sweetwater out.
Roll Tide. It's